Hey, what's up everybody? I'm your guide, Billy Haley.
And I'm Tyson.
And today we're gonna show you how to save a life using the SOF T Tourniquet. Let's go. I'm Billy Haley. Think of an injury and I've treated it. I've got over 20 years of experience ranging from the front lines of the battlefield to a hospital operating room. Teaching first aid is my passion. All right, so today we're gonna go over the SOF T Tourniquet. What I want you to do is go ahead, do self-application, and I'm gonna talk you through it.
Okay,
that
sounds good.
So as we know,
I'm lost.
Okay, perfect, awesome. So you've got your loop here, that's gonna get, your limb's gonna go through that, whether it's your arm or leg, whatever. You do have a buckle mechanism right here. You can use this, you know, if you're coming up underneath a leg or something like that, if the leg's pinned down or whatever reason, you can come up underneath, clip that, and then tighten this down.
Got it.
I like to keep mine done, so I have the loop there, because more often than not, I'm gonna get this over a limb, you know, arm, leg, whatever it may be.
Just saves time?
Just saves time, absolutely. Time is of the essence when you're doing tourniquets, right? It's
great.
Anywhere from maybe a minute to 3 minutes before that person loses too much blood and can't really do much for them. So let's go ahead.
Okay, so I slide this over my arm.
And when you're doing a self-application, keep in mind it's always easier to take this tail and pull it towards yourself.
Oh yeah.
So you're going high and tight over the clothes, right?
Yeah, is that high enough?
Yeah, so.
Close?
Yeah, so that's pretty good. You can't go too much higher here because it just kind of runs in your armpit there.
Okay.
So regardless of where the injury is on that limb, whether it's arm or leg, you're gonna go high and tight regardless. It's where it goes every time, over the clothes.
Even if like I have a bad injury like right here, I wouldn't go right here?
High and tight every time.
Got it. Okay, so now I'm here.
So you've got all the slack out, right?
Yep.
Nice and tight.
Tight.
Now you can start turning this guy here. This is your windlass.
Okay, does it matter which way I turn it?
Nope, you can go either way. You'll notice it's got clips here.
Yep, okay, so there's...
So when you
How
get
many times do I turn it?
Until the bleeding stops.
The bleeding stops, okay. Oh, that's tight.
That's good and tight. So, you've got these clips here, right?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, these things move, all right?
Okay.
So if you need to slide that in closer, do so.
Let's see if I can get a better angle on it. There we go.
Okay. So we're not done just yet. You've got it secured in there, but this triangle piece, that's what's gonna be the definitive hold for this guy.
And unfortunately for me, I think I put it a little too far because I can't really see.
Okay. So that's something to keep in mind when you're working with this particular tourniquet.
Yeah.
You want to keep that windlass right about here so you can actually work with that good hand and get that triangle on the end where it needs to be. So it's an effective tourniquet.
What do I do
But you
here
need to
again?
have this locking mechanism. So what you'll do is slide the C-clip in and then the definitive
Oh, I put
catch.
the triangle right over the top.
Yeah.
Got it.
So these little notches here, the triangle fits in these guys, and they're on both ends because of course you could turn it either way. So that's what that goes into right there.
Okay. Yeah, that feels awful.
Yeah, tourniquets do feel awful. Tourniquets are painful, right? But a little bit of pain for the patient or yourself and your life is saved, or vice versa. So
Yeah.
it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, can I take it off?
Please do.
Okay, thanks.
Once we do put a tourniquet on, whether it's ourselves or somebody else, once the tourniquet's on, it stays on. Okay, let those guys down the road deal with that, taking it off.
Even if it, like, because that was pretty painful. So what if, like, I'm
Absolutely.
like, Billy, please take this off.
So you might even run into that. You might have a patient saying, hey, can I loosen this? Can I take this off? And the answer is always gonna be no. So
Okay.
communicate with your patient. Let them know, hey, this is a life-saving application. You need to leave it. I understand it hurts. They'll get pain meds on board, you know, once the paramedics come or once you get to the hospital or whatever. So.
Yeah. So is this good for anybody?
This is a great tourniquet for adults, but with kids, pediatrics, and their smaller limbs, this section right here isn't real pliable, so it's gonna be pretty hard to get that 360-degree tightness that you need to have an effective tourniquet. Same with canines. This isn't the best canine tourniquet. There are better ones out there. Not terrible, there are worse ones, but there are certainly better ones for canines.
Got it.
So, what I want you to do is go ahead and put this on me, right?
Okay.
I'm not gonna time you or anything, but I want you to talk me through it as you're doing it.
Okay, so this is how the tourniquet is gonna be set, just like this. So I'm gonna take this part and put it over the arm or leg that's injured, right?
Yep.
And then I'm gonna pull it tight.
We're going high and tight, right?
High and tight, right over the
Whether
clothing.
it's
It doesn't
arm,
matter.
leg, whatever. Yep, over the
What
clothing.
if they're like wearing some really bulky clothes?
So if they're wearing bulky clothes, something like that, it doesn't matter. The only thing you really have to keep in mind is like pockets, stuff in pockets, like cell phones, knives, whatever it may be. It can't go over that stuff.
Okay, cool. All right, so to continue, I'm gonna make sure I get all the slack out of this.
Yep.
Right? So about like that. Then I'm gonna start twisting the windlass.
Good.
Correct?
Yep.
Until the bleeding stops.
Right. There you go.
Done.
Did you hear how that kind of clicked in?
Uh-huh.
That's that triangle slipping into this little gap right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the, do we write the time anywhere?
Absolutely. So on the end of the tail here, you've got this little tag time right here. So tourniquets and time go hand in hand. They're gonna wanna know when this tourniquet went on. Has it been 20 minutes? Has it been 2 hours? It may affect some of the treatment that they get later on down the line.
Okay.
One thing with that in mind is there's this old adage of, you know, if you put a tourniquet on, you're gonna lose a limb. That's simply not true.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, so it was so taboo for so long, and we now know that simply isn't true. You can leave a tourniquet on for several hours and have zero damage. You're not gonna lose a limb, you're gonna be just fine.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
So this
Keep
thing
that on.
actually is quite painful.
I'm
But
sure.
what I want you to do real quick is take a pulse.
Okay, let's see. That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's definitely cutting off my circulation, which is exactly what we want, right?
Perfect.
I want to talk about taking a pulse as a way of checking your tourniquet real world. I don't like to do that real world, and there's a couple reasons why not. Let's say real world, I completely severed my arm from the elbow down.
It's like your arm's like hanging off.
Right. You can't get a pulse that way, right? At all.
Probably
There's
not.
nothing to take a pulse on. But let's say I still have my arm's intact, but I have some massive arterial wound. I lacerated my artery. I'm not gonna have a pulse because I no longer have that artery. You know, it's not gonna be pumping blood, so you're not gonna feel a pulse. So the definitive way to check a tourniquet is, has the bleeding stopped?
Okay.
It's not taking a pulse.
Question. Say the bleeding hasn't stopped. The tourniquet's already applied. What do I do?
Great question. The problem most likely is you simply didn't turn the windlass enough.
Okay.
So you put it on, it's still got a slow bleed or whatever. Go ahead and take this and give it another twist.
Twist it one more time. I don't start over.
No. If you have another tourniquet, you can put one right next to it and go ahead and lock that one down. But if you don't, if you simply just have the one tourniquet, unhook it, give it an additional twist, and then recheck.
Got it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's all there is to it, man.
Cool.
Simple. So, what do you think of the SOF T Tourniquet?
I really like it. I feel confident that I'd be able to apply it to myself or another person if needed.
Good. What I want you to do is go ahead and keep practicing with this and get to a point to where you're doing this, 15 seconds or less. Right?
Okay.
Which is super easily doable. No problem. I'm confident that you can do that.
Thanks. Me too.
Thanks for your help today.
Yeah, you bet, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Yep. All right, I want to thank you guys for showing up and stepping up your first aid game. I'm your guide, Billy Haley,
And I'm Tyson.
helping you stay alive.
Staying alive, staying alive. Oh, 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 staying alive.
My bad.